In today's episode, we're going to take a look at my top 10 albums of 2021. Finally. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Old Guy Rock Show. Finally, episode 1. My name is Josh. I'm going to be your host on this hopefully very fun journey. For the first episode, we're actually going to take a look at kind of old news. I'm going to look at my top favorite records from 2021. I know it's overdue, but I had a very, very hard time putting this list together. I just wanted to make sure that it was perfect before we recorded anything for the channel. So buckle up. There is music from all over the musical landscape, all sorts of genres. There is a lot of stuff going on in this list, so come with me and we will take it one by one, starting with number 10. Coming in at number 10 is Wretched Abyss by Noctool. If you know anything about the band Noctool, it is a side project from the band Svalbard. Serena Cherry specifically of Svalbard, the singer and guitar player. She wanted to do a Skyrim-themed black metal album. I'm super on board. So very, very fun record. This was one that actually beat out a couple of my favorite bands' records from 2021. Did not think that this was going to be in the top 10, but here we are. So a couple tracks that I would check out from this record is Elven Sword and Wretched Abyss, the first single. Really, really good tunes. Highly, highly recommended. Coming in at number 9, I have A Pillar of Salt by singer-songwriter Noah Gunderson. I firmly believe Noah Gunderson can't make a bad record, and I don't think this record is any exception to that. Clever lyrics, painted with superb songwriting and stellar recording on top of that. You really can't go wrong. Can't wait to see him live again. This is actually the first artist I saw after the pandemic and after lockdown, but he was actually the last artist that we saw play live in the same venue right before lockdown, literally the week before. So he has a very soft, kind of sentimental spot in my heart. Very radically different from our number 10 pick, but once again, here we are. So favorite tracks from this record, there are quite a few, but the top 2 that I picked were Body and Sleepless in Seattle. The songwriting on Sleepless in Seattle is funny and very, very well put together. So highly, highly recommend it. Coming in at number 8, Jesus Christ, this record is really good. It is labeled Converge and Chelsea Wolfe, but I am talking about Blood Moon 1. Hopefully that's implying there's more Blood Moons to come. But at any rate, when I first heard about this record coming out and who was involved with it, Converge, awesome. Chelsea Wolfe, awesome. Steven from Cave In, awesome. He's kind of from Converge too. But at any rate, Kurt Ballou putting all this together and recording it. That's my Doom Dream Team. So really, really solid record. It was really tough to pick my top tracks in this album because I like them all, literally. So what I went with, just out of desperation, was Blood Moon and Failure Forever. The singing on Failure Forever in the beginning is super, super awesome. Once again, highly recommended as well. Coming in at number 7, we have No Way Out But Through by Face to Face. Now, arguably, this band is one of my favorite bands. I've been listening to them since, I think, 95? 96? It's been a minute. But this is a record I didn't think I was gonna like as much as I did. I liked it not necessarily because all the songs are bangers or anything, but it is kind of what I can only explain is like a tour of their whole discography. You have stuff in there that's very reminiscent from Big Choice and earlier Face to Face. A lot of stuff that is post-Ignorance is Bliss sounding. I think of Reactionary, even the self-titled pre-Ignorance is Bliss, but really solid record. Picking top songs from this record was also very difficult. I ultimately went with No Way Out But Through, the title track, and then Ruination, Here We Come. Really, really good tunes, very topical. Not really political, but they hearken to the landscape, put it that way. So really good record. Check it out. Haters, this is a preface. You're going to hate this. I thought I was going to hate this. Please don't murder me in the comments. Coming in at number 6, did not think I would be saying this out loud, but it is You're Welcome by A Day to Remember. This is the record that I wanted on the list, then I thought it wouldn't make the list, but did make the list, and I don't know how I feel about it. In terms of a day to remember record, it's not their best. It's a pretty weak contender overall. Probably hundreds of listens now. I still feel that way, but there are a couple tracks on this record that are very well written, very a day to remember-ish, whatever that means. And there are some even catchy tunes on here that are not really their style, but I can respect them for writing those songs. I can't fault a band for writing music that makes them money. I mean, they're older, they're all, they have families, they have kids now. Like, that costs money. This is their job. Like, I think of like what I would do at my job differently if I could make more money. Like, would I actually do that? Would I, people say they sold out or whatever. Whatever. Selling out makes money, then you can make your craft more. So, I don't know. I'm having to fight internal demons on this one, I guess is what I'm getting at. So, it was very, very easy to pick my favorite tracks on this record because there's not a lot, to be totally honest. Last Chance to Dance, Bad Friend, and Resentment are definitely the heaviest tracks on the album. FUM, Fuck You Money, I cannot get that tune out of my head, so that almost was a contender. Really good record, just not a great a day to remember record, but still made it in at number 6, so, I guess you guys won this round. Okay, coming in at number 5, we have Typhoons by Royal Blood. I mean, it's fucking Royal Blood, man. They're awesome. I don't think they've ever made a bad record. I'm always in for the ride no matter what they do. This is a record that is a little bit more dancey than their previous releases, but once again, they do it very, very to a high caliber, very high quality. I'm in for the ride, so very, very good record. Picking favorite tracks was impossible for me. I got it down to 5 or 6 tracks, and I literally couldn't pick top 2. So I'm going to say favorite tracks, all of them. Listen to it and pick your own because I could not do it. Okay, coming in at number 4, we have Glow On by Turnstile. Man, this is another band that never ceases to amaze me. Younger guys, kind of the new lifeblood of hardcore between, them doing more of like that 80s, very early 90s hardcore versus like Knocked Loose doing kind of the heavier stuff. I mean, these two bands are definitely the future of this genre as, it keeps getting broken down further and further and further with subgenres. But, I was a little late to the Turnstile game, only getting into them with Time and Space, their 2018 release. Solid record. This is an amazing follow-up. Once again, picking favorite tracks for this was very, very difficult. I ultimately got it down to Holiday and Mystery, kind of the singles for the album, because I believe both of them were on their EP for that they released right before the record. But solid tracks. Underwater Boy is another favorite. But yeah, definitely a different style for them, kind of going further away from like the hardcore norms. Great record, and it just gives me hope for the future of hardcore. So, very, very high on the list. Okay, coming in at number 3, Tear is Radical by Every Time I Die. The Tear obviously is in reference to the band officially breaking up in December of 2021. They actually didn't finish all of their tour stops because of problems within the band. So super, super bummer there. But thank God for us fans, they did go out with a fucking bang. This record is awesome. Calling it radical was an understatement because it is radical. Really, really good tunes on there. Picking top songs was also, or top tracks was also a very, very hard thing for me to do. I ultimately settled with AWOL and A Colossal Wreck. Follow up to that would probably be Postboredom. Really, really good tunes. Whole record is really, really good top to bottom. Honestly, I haven't been this excited for Every Time I Die since, like, I don't know, The Big Dirty or Gutter Phenomenon. Really good tunes within those albums. Obviously, it's spanning decades now, but this was a good, for lack of better terms, nail in the coffin of the band. I mean, they went out with a bang. So really, really glad that I've been able to listen to them for years, and I think that all of their fans would probably say the same. So, definitely check it out. Coming in at number 2 is Engine of Hell by Emma Ruth Rundle. This is another one, gang. I cannot see this woman ever making a bad record. She goes from, Control and some of the stuff from On Dark Horses to putting out 2 EPs, should have been a full record, with the band Thou, going very, very doomy and very, very heavy. And then comes out with Engine of Hell, which for all intent and purpose is pretty much an acoustic record. But some of the tracks on here, let me just read through some of them. We've got, load up here, Blooms of Oblivion, great track. Body, one of the darkest songs I heard probably in the last year, definitely, but in the last maybe decade. Dancing Man, all of these tracks are really, really good. My personal favorites are Razor's Edge and Citadel. The writing on Razor's Edge specifically is some of the most clever songwriting I've heard in a long, long time. So definitely check that one out. You can definitely tell she went through some personal stuff. In hindsight, we know that was a divorce, which kind of sucks, obviously. But, that makes all of us, songwriters and musicians write some really good tunes. So I'm not glad it happened, obviously, but I'm glad she channeled that energy into something that, hopefully would vent her frustrations and then give us some really good tunes to listen to. So Engine of Hell by Emma Ruth Rundle, number 2 on our list. Very, very good record. All right, gang, we made it. We are at number 1. This I knew was going to be the number 1 pick for months coming. Literally, the second I heard this, I was like, that's my favorite record of the year. So we are going to go out with Era's self-titled record, which actually, as of reading this, they're going to do a deluxe version March 18th, which is very exciting. But this record, I literally listen to this every single day at least once. Some of the best songs I've ever heard written in the metalcore genre. For this band, I think they just get better and better and better and better with every release. Did not think their last record was going to get topped, but they just knocked it out of the park. So once again, cannot pick favorite tracks on this record because they're literally all my favorite songs right now. Top contenders, I would say, is probably Snowblood. Divisionary is one of my favorite songs just because of the content of it and the actual playing of it. I actually like a little bit more of like the progressive songs like Electric Twilight, Lunar Halo, Vanish Canvas. Vanish Canvas with Courtney from Spirit Box is a little different. I think I like both for their own versions. And honestly, even the instrumental version of the record is tip top. So I don't think this band can do wrong. They're another one. Thank God I got to see this band. They actually toured with August Burns Red and Fit for a King. I had to delay it a little bit because of some COVID-related stuff, but finally got to see them play LA in December. It was a great cap on the year, which wasn't a super great year again, but seeing them was like top 10 shows of the last decade once again. So finally got to see them live, finally got to get their record, finally got to do all the things that I've been really, really hoping to do. If you have not listened to this record, stop what you're doing, hit pause, close your browser window, quit your app, go right into whatever streaming service you use for music and play this fucking record. You will not regret it. Highly, highly recommended. And I guess look forward to the extended edition or the deluxe edition, whatever they're calling it, on March 18th. So you got some stuff to look forward to as well. As for our list, that is my top 10 for 2021. Going forward, we're just going to work on some new content. Look at, we've got a Bonnaroo lineup to go through, artists that I've never even heard of. We're going to go through and do some listens with that. And we'll see what the next one brings us. So thanks for joining me. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.